Hello, Bee Club. Well, it's one of those days in Seattle where it's kind of rainy. Going to think about what are we going to do today, and Miss A had this idea: we might as well just melt wax. Well, if we're going to melt wax, we might as well make a little video about beeswax. You know, there's a lot of reasons why people enjoy raising honeybees. For Miss A and I, it's all about the science. We love the science of a honeybee, the science of a beehive, and learning about it. It also goes along with the Blanchette mission about creating a lifelong learner. Miss A is always learning something about the honeybees. Every single year, every single month, she learns something new. Even though she's reading a ton of magazines, she's talking to a lot of bee people, they are always constantly talking about how much they learn about it. So that's why Miss A and I love to raise the honeybees. Another reason people like to raise honeybees is that they're the only insect that makes something that we use. They make honey, and we use honey. And then they make beeswax, and we use beeswax. So let's talk about it a little bit. How do the honeybee make beeswax? Well, on their abdomen, they have these wax glands that they'll make the wax. They use the wax to make this famous honeycomb. Now, why do they make this honeycomb? They make all these little holes, and in these holes, the queen will lay her egg. Also, in these holes, they'll store a bunch of pollen. So right here, there's some pollen. In these holes, if there's nectar available, they'll bring back the nectar and store them in there, and then create honey out of it. So that's why they use the wax and make these little holes. Now, there's a magical number 10 that keeps coming up in biology. It takes 10 pounds of honey to make 1 pound of beeswax. So it takes a lot of energy for them to make this stuff. So let's talk about it. What we're going to do is Miss A has created this contraption right here. And she's got a wire cloth, little wire mesh right here. And then underneath there's an aluminum foil pan with some water on it. And then she's got this paper towel on here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this honeycomb. We're going to place it right on here. And then we got the oven over here. Miss A, what is the oven at?
The oven's at 200 degrees.
200 degrees.
It has to be low enough so you don't reach the flash point. The flash point means the point at which maybe the paper towel might catch on fire or the wax. We don't want a fire in our oven.
So we're going to put it in the oven at 200 degrees, and it's going to slowly melt. Now, this wax here, this was in a hive that we call a top bar hive. And really what it is just a big open box, and there's these wooden slats that are on top of the box. And what the bees do is they go underneath here, and then they build the comb on these wooden slats. Well, we no longer use the top bar, so I cut all the wax off, and we're going to melt it down. This wax is it's really brown, in some places it's black. What that is all the dirt and sap from trees and everything that's been on the wax. So this is dirty wax right here. So by putting it on the paper towel and slowly melting it down, anything that's the dirt, the pollen, the sap, anything that's not pure wax is going to get stuck on this paper towel. And then the wax is going to go down, and it's going to hit the water down here in the pan. And when it hits the water, it's going to cool down, and it's going to solidify. Miss A did it a couple weeks ago, and then she got this beautiful beeswax here. That came from a comb like this. So all the dirty stuff was left in the paper towel, which Miss A has right here. So this is all this dirty gookampaki that was just in that comb that we don't want. Now, why or what can you do with the beeswax? Well, last week, what Miss A did is she made some beeswax soap right here. She even put some wildflowers on the top. It smells great. This soap right here, it's got a cure for another 4 weeks before you could use it. Hey, when we get back to school, let's make some soap. Let's make some beeswax soap. Last year, we melted down the wax and we made some beeswax candles. Let's do that again this year. All right, Miss A, you're right here. Do you have anything else to add about the beeswax?
I do. And even this part that came from the paper towel here is reusable. I use it in the smoker. It's a great fuel to light the smoker and keep the flame going and the smoke coming out. It works really well.
So we're going to go put this in the oven, and then after about an hour, I'll show you what it looks like. There you go. So after a couple hours, all the wax is melted through. This is this paper towel. It has a bunch of the gunk that was on the wax. And then what we got here is just pure, nice, clean beeswax. It'll solidify here over the next hour or so, and then we'll get a nice, beautiful chunk.